Hey guys, my name is Katie and this is a behind the scenes video of our 2018 Christmas light display. Stay tuned to check out how we build our different props, how they're all hooked up, and how we sync them to music. This is our Cosmic Color Ribbon Tree, a holiday core product. We also have the pixel star at the top made of Chloroplast, secured with cables into the ground. We'll get up close here and see how it's all controlled. We built our ribbon tree with these metal poles and clamps and these long metal bars to support. There are three, one at the bottom, one in the middle, and one at the top. As you can see, there are clamps holding on these metal poles that the strips are zip tied to. Here is the back side of our tree. We have an 18-foot metal pole dug 2 feet into the ground filled with concrete to support some of the weight of our frame. It's not actually attached here at the middle, but up at the top you can see that there is a loose U-bolt near the star. This again helps the frame from wiggling back and forth. To raise this sucker, we have put reinforcement bars into the ground. We laid it flat and then stuck the poles in the ground, took cables and raised it up like that. Super simple, but did require about 4 or 5 people to help get it up. It's designed a little differently to accommodate the slope of our yard. And each of the pixels have pigtails running back to the controllers. This is the Alpha Pix 16 pigtail controller in a plastic container that controls the ribbons. This is a holiday core product. These are just your pixel controllers. You open it up in here. Here's what it looks like inside. These work through Ethernet cords. We run them to a network switch because we have so many different controllers. This helps us run multiple units through one computer. These are our small leaping arches. There are 4 in total, and each individual arch has 8 strands of warm lights. There's a strand per channel so that it gives that leaping effect through the arch. So you can see here, there's different joints that separate the different segments so that it gives it that jumping effect. This is made out of PVC pipe that we've just zip tied the lights onto and then twisted them about 1,000 times for a strand. And again, they are secured with concrete reinforcement bars that we've driven to the ground. Here is one of 2 PVC trees that we've built. They are lined with red, green, yellow, and blue LED lights. There are 8 strands of each color, 70 bulb strands. So here's an up close of our PVC tree. We have 8-foot reinforcement bars inside of these long pieces here that go all the way to the top or very close to the top. And then the piece at the top is assembled with different joints. You can tell here's a corner joint, and we put some rope light stars at the top. Each of the strands are attached simply with zip ties, and then they just wrap around the tree to give that multicolored effect. All throughout our yard, we have different trees covered in multicolored lights. These are all LED lights, usually 10 to 12 strands per tree. Smaller trees have 5 to 6 strands, but all of these strands are multicolored 70 bulb lights. Here is our holly tree. There are about 18 green LED strands, again 70 bulbs per strand put onto this tree. As you zoom up close here, you can see that these lights are not wrapped horizontally around the tree, but rather vertically. It makes your lights more compact, it makes it look a little brighter. And then at the top here we have our warm white rope light star. The star above our holly tree has a unique bend in its metal pole support so that it will be directly over our tree. And then the star has U-bolts in there to secure the wooden piece that we've again just drilled holes through and zip tied the rope light into. There are cables that support the star from spinning in the wind, staked into the ground. And similarly to other props in our display, the metal pole has a 2-foot hole dug into it filled with concrete to support the metal bar. Here is our manger scene from this year's display. It's made out of wood and a plastic material. This plastic that we created Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus out of is super flexible, something that we were able to repurpose. We like it because it's got all these holes cut into it already, so we just have to run zip ties over our warm white rope light here, and they are secured with reinforcement bar and they're just zip tied through the holes here and then run through the plastic. And then our manger is made out of wood that we have drilled holes through to run zip ties to hold the lights onto it, and then screwed together to assemble that V shape at the top here. And our star is held up by our 18-foot pole. We dug a hole in the ground, filled it with concrete to make sure that wasn't going anywhere. Here is our Merry Christmas Jesus Christ sign that we've built. This was something that we cut out and traced and then painted red and white so that you could see it better in the daytime. We can get up close here and see how these are assembled. This is warm white rope light, again similar to our manger scene. We have just drilled holes through this wood and run zip ties. And then on our Christ feature, we wanted to be able to say Merry Christmas and then Jesus Christ. They are lined with both warm white and red rope light, again just zip tied through the holes. Here is our tune to sign. This lets people know what station to tune to be able to hear the music with the lights. You can see these are just individual bulbs punched through this Chloroplast, and then there's a plastic frame that's just staked to the ground. Here on the back you can see how the lights are just stuck through there. Again, this gives you a better sense of like what it looks like. This is a holiday Coro product. These are our driveway arches. They're lit up with 3 strands of lights each. There's 70 lights on each strand. There are 8 arches in total. We'll zoom up here. Again, these are made out of PVC. We've just taken, I believe, 3 pieces. You can see up here at the joint. And then they're just run across the driveway and staked into the ground with reinforcement bar. I'll show you over here. I might be able to lift this up, but we just have reinforcement bar under there that we just slide these suckers onto, take an extension cord and run it back to the house. On our roof we have the bright white, almost blue icicle lights that hang down on the first and second levels of our house. We also have, if you can see, the flood lights. They are RGB props, and then kind of hard to tell, but there's a white strip that lines underneath the gutter of our first floor, and those are RGB pixel strips. All along our house, on the sidewalk here, we have different bushes that are lit up with either red lights, green lights, or blue lights. There are different strands on each bush, but all of the strands are 70 bulb strands. On our porch, we have 8 artificial Christmas trees with gold lights. There are 3 to 4 strands on each tree with 70 bulbs per strand here. Here are the bases that hold up our 8 artificial trees on our porch. They are just wooden planks drilled together, and then underneath here you can see that there is a concrete reinforcement bar used to keep the tree in place. We also use wire that we attach to the porch rail and then into the middle of the tree base here to secure the tree. Hanging from the porch we have 13 stars. Some are red and some are white. They are hung up with these hooks that you can see up here, and then we've added hooks at the top to hold the extension cords. We also have garland lined around our porch. We've added some bright white LED strands on here. We also have 6 rope light snowflakes that hang from our porch. These are just warm white on the outside and a blue in the middle, and we use rope to tie them to our banisters. Here is another plastic container with more of our holiday Coro pixel controllers. There are 2 here, one to control the ribbons that are lined under our gutter and one to control the floodlights. Again, these look very similar to the ones used to run the pixel tree. Here's what it looks like on the inside. This is a 4 pigtail box, so it only runs 4 different components if you want to hook that up. And that is also a 4 controller box. In addition to our pixel controllers, we use a Lightorama box. Here's what that looks like inside. Again, this is just for your regular LED lights. You just plug them in there. They're labeled with what channel each controller or each plug controls. Again, run with Ethernet. This is the controller that we use to run all of our leaping arches all the way down here. They're just used with a million extension cords to run back to this box. This, I would not recommend this product. This is something we had when we started 11 years ago that we actually had converted to work with the Lightorama software, but it's something that we're still using until it craps out. You know, the more lights, the better. Here is our final light controller. This is another animated lighting box that we've had converted to the LOR software. Our display is a little unique because it's 11 years old, and we've just kind of built on and more or less duct taped our solutions to be high tech with some of the new stuff. So we started originally with the Christmas in a box, animated lighting, plug and play kind of setup, and then we switched to the Lightorama when we had our boxes converted, and then we've added these holiday Coro boxes, the pixel controllers for the DMX elements. Fortunately, all of these are still compatible with the Lightorama software, and the holiday Coro boxes and the Lightorama boxes also work with X lights. So there are a lot of different ways that you can make your old LED light display turn into a pixel display if that's what you're interested in. And there's a lot of products that we'll be switching to next year that hopefully will make us a little more high tech.